All right, let's talk money. New numbers from Stats Canada based on tax filings from 2023 show how much the highest income earning Nova Scotians make. The top 0.1% made more than $920,000. To put that into perspective, that's about 29 times more than the typical Nova Scotian. So to discuss all of this, Lars Osberg, a professor of economics at Dalhousie University, with us to help us make sense of it. Also, Mr. Osberg, what do you make of these numbers?
Well, I think they're kind of interesting. Now, from one year to the next, incomes at the very top of the income distribution kind of bounce around. People, chief executive officers, a lot of their pay packages in the form of capital gains, stock options, that sort of thing. So that bounces around quite a lot from one year to the next. So it's not really a single year that makes the big deal. It's the long-term trend.
So, is this old money? Is it investments? Are we getting better paying career jobs? The CEOs you talk about, do you have any sense of that?
Well, it's clear that the farther you go up in the income distribution, the more income from capital matters. I mean, if you have $10 million, then a 5% rate of return on $10 million is 500,000 a year in perpetuity. That kind of dominates at the very, very top end. Uh, at the bottom of the top 1%, it's more labor income. So capital income gets to be more and more important the farther you go up in the income
All
distribution.
right, and so as you move to that next tier, which is about, I gather, about 10,000 Nova Scotians are in the top 1%. They're earning at least $255,000. I mean, are we seeing increases here, or is this the trend upward?
Well, the long-term trend is for more income to be going to the top of the income distribution. As I said, it bounces around from one year to the next, and some years it goes down with if the stock market isn't doing as well, or if the economy in general isn't doing as well. But it has, for the last 30 odd years, bounced back to even higher levels.
And so these numbers we're talking about, they're assessed. These are before tax dollars. I mean, what does the figure represent?
Well, it represents affluence. It represents security. It represents social status and prestige. So income has a lot of dimensions, particularly if you have a lot of it. And it's particularly something that people with low income would like to have. If you don't have this kind of money, then you are worried about mundane problems like how do you pay for the groceries or how do you make the rent.
And so I guess it's fair to say that the rich are getting richer. I mean, that's confirming the trend here.
Well, for the last, well, basically since the early 1980s, we've seen an upward trend at the very top of the income distribution. And that's combined with a lot of income stagnation and a lot of income insecurity for everybody else. So it is kind of a bad set of trends that we've been observing.
And some people feeling it's harder to move up into the different brackets. I mean, what would you say to that as an economist looking at the situation? Is there much hope for those people who are looking at those numbers and maybe drooling a little bit and saying, will I ever get there?
Well, there are always hopes to move up in the income distribution, but there also always are anxieties about moving down. And when you don't have much of a social safety net, when you see people living in tents, that kind of heightens the anxieties about dropping down in the income distribution. So social mobility is kind of a two-edged sword. It creates hopes and anticipations of moving up, but also creates fears and anxieties about moving down. And the closer you already are to the bottom of the income distribution, and the more you're worried about, losing the job, making the rent, paying for the groceries, the bigger those insecurities about future hazards, the more that matters.
Okay, and how quickly, before I let you go, any sense of how Nova Scotians are doing compared to other Canadians in this regard?
Well, we kind of move with the rest of the national economy in this. I mean, we've had since COVID 5 years ago some massive shocks to what we all thought was kind of normal. Just in the last year, we've had massive shocks to the trading relationship between Canada and the United States. And so there's a lot of anxiety out there about where we go from here. So that's the sort of thing where that you still have hopes to move up, but you probably have a few anxieties about moving down too.
All right. Well, thanks for taking us through the numbers, Lars Osberg. Thanks so much.
It's been good chatting.